Alright, Shalom, this is your brother Shamar from Phoenix. With that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QUADASH. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to your brothers out there doing this work in truth, sincerity, man. And real quick, I want to get into a real quick lesson about confusion of faith, man. And then what is confusion of faith? Confusion of faith is basically it's the doctrine that the Israelites are going to look like the other nations. And there's biblical proof that the Israelites are going to look like the other nations. They're not all going to be so-called black, Latino, Native American. You know, they're going to look like so-called white people. They're going to look like so-called Chinese. They're going to look like so-called Middle Eastern people. They're going to look like all nations upon the earth, because the thing about it is that one of the curses that the Lord put the Israelites under is that He scattered them upon all the face of the earth, man. And everywhere that the Hebrew Israelites, or what we call Jake, everywhere Jake went, he dropped his seed there, man. He took to wives women of the other nations, and then through him them sons are Israelites, man, because it all goes back to your father. You know that. I want to get the first scripture. This is Leviticus 26 and 33. I'm gonna get it real quick. Leviticus 26 and 33, and it says, I said, I will scatter you among the heathen, and I will draw the sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. So the Lord said that He was going to scatter us among the heathen. So among the heathen nations, we will be scattered. And when we got scattered among the heathen nations, you know, Jake dropped his seed amongst the women of those heathen nations, man. You know, so the Israelites are not going to look all like Wesley Snipes, man. They're not going to look like Machete. You know, they're not going to look like whatever, man, Squanto. You know, they're gonna have different forms, man. But the spirit's they're gonna be Israelites, because that's how we tell. We tell by the spirit. With that, I want to get Deuteronomy, I think 28 and 64. You know, basically, we just let the scriptures speak for themselves, because this is the truth that we believe in. We do all things according to the scriptures. This is not our own vain opinion or our own personal interpretation. You know, we're going by what the scriptures say. This is Deuteronomy 20 and 64, and it says, "And the Lord and the Most High shall scatter thee among all people." So, hey, what does that say right there? That we will be scattered among people, man. So with using common sense, that tell you that the so-called Israelites, they're going to look like all people. You know, but the thing about it, their spirit, no matter where they go, they're going to be under those curses. You know, because even in all societies, man, you have those that are outcasts, those that are downtrodden, those that are poor. You know, perfect example of that is those untouchables in India. You know, they could very well be, most likely, they're Hebrew Israelites, man, scattered among the people, because they live under the curses. They're treated worse than dirt by the so-called own kind. You know, so everywhere that Jake goes, he's gonna be living out these curses. I'm gonna read that back. "And the Most High shall scatter thee among all people." And that's all people, man. That's talking about all nations. So there's proof right there, from one end of the earth even unto the other. "And there shall serve, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stones." That's one of the curses that the Lord put on us, man. That we were going to be scattered among all people, from one end of the earth to the other. So it only makes common sense that in these last days that we're going to have so-called Jakes looking like other nations, man. We're going to have so-called Jakes looking like so-called white people. We're going to have so-called Jakes looking like so-called Chinese people, so-called Middle Eastern people, and so on and so forth, man. You know, with that, I want to get, let's see, Numbers 22 and 11, I think it is. You know, showing that we're gonna be on the whole earth. Numbers 22 and 11. I think that's what it is. It says, Numbers 22:11. It said, "Behold, there is a people come out of Egypt." And what were the people that came out of Egypt? The Hebrew Israelites, man, which covers the face of the earth. "Come now, curse me, their peradventure shall be able to overcome them and drive them out." So that basically, that's that Moabite king. You know, he's going, basically, he's saying that the Israelites are going to cover the whole face of the earth, and they're going to be coming from all nations, man, basically. You know, basically the key point of that scripture that there was a people that come out of Egypt which covers the face of the earth, man. So going back to Deuteronomy 28 and 64, and what did it say there? That we will be scattered among all people, man. You know, so that just precept upon precept, you know, letting you know what's up, man. You know. And with that, I'm gonna get Salakia. Numbers 23 and 10 says, who can count the dust of Jacob? And that's talking about the seed of Jacob, man. You know, and what does dust do? Dust gets scattered, man. And the number of the fourth part of Israel. So you can't even count the fourth part of Israel. You can't even count 25% of the nation of Israel, man. It's uncountable, because what does the scripture say? That his seed, that Jacob's seed is going to be as the sand of the sea. You know, yeah, get a handful of sand and try counting that. It's damn near impossible. It is impossible. It's damn near impossible, man. It's damn near impossible. You know, so we going over scriptures and we're letting you know that Salakia, we're letting you know that you know, the Hebrew Israelites are going to look upon all nations. It's not based on so-called skin color. Now, the majority of you, the Edomites, they are so-called white people, but amongst those white people, you're going to have Hebrew Israelites scattered among them. You know, and it could be the same thing amongst you so-called you so-called Native Americans, you so-called blacks, Latinos. Amongst our people, you know, there's gonna be Edomites that look like so-called black people. There's gonna be Edomites that look like so-called Hispanics and Native Americans, man. They're gonna be tares, you know, because their lineage goes back to the Edomites. You know, they might have a a dark skin or dark skin a Negro mother, but their father, you know, being Edomite, you know, they go back to his lineage, but they get their pigmentation from their mother. But the thing about it is this: that the Lord considers your heritage. He counts your heritage through your father's line, man. You know. And with that, I want to get 1 Samuel 16 and 7. This is 1 Samuel 16 and 7. And it says, but the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature. That's talking about King Saul. But the point of the scriptures is in the second part of the verse, because I refuse him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance. So, you know, we don't judge nobody by their outward appearance. I mean, we do to a certain extent, but ultimately we judge somebody by their spirit, man. Because you know, a so-called white person, you know, if he has that right spirit within him, if he receives his word correctly, if he receives his word with humility, he doesn't, you know, buck up against it, and receives it and accepts it as truth, and he's persuaded in his own mind that this is the truth, it is most likely that man goes back to the line of Jacob, man, of the sons of Jacob, but the sons of Israel, or the children of Israel. I'm going to read that back. For the Lord sees not as a man sees, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. So the Lord looks on the inward appearance. The Lord looks upon your spirit, man. You know, that I'm going to get 2 Corinthians 10 and 7. It says 2 Corinthians 10 and 7, and it says, do ye look on the things after the outward appearance? If any man trust to himself that he is YAHWAHSHI, let him of himself think this again, that as he is YAHWAHSHI, even so are we YAHWAHSHI. So what does the scripture ask? Do we look on the things at the outward appearance? No, we don't, man. You know, we look through it through the spirit. You know, the Lord looks through your spirit, man, and the spirit was what's inside of you. And whether you receive this truth or not, it depends on the spirit. You know, your spirit is what receives this truth. You know, and with that, I want to get off. You know, because this truth is only for the truth is only for the children of Israel. But you got to consider the fact that some of our people are going to look like and be scattered among these other nations. You know, the Edomites will not be saved, man. You know, these other nations, heathen nations, they will not be saved. There is no salvation given unto but only the children of Israel, man. You know, that's the true doctrine. But at the same time, you got to realize that our people are going to be scattered among these other nations, among these other people. Therefore, they're going to look like these other nations, other people. You know, that's just the scriptures, man. Well, and with that, I want to get Slakia. 1 Corinthians 2 and 15. Just 1 Corinthians 2 and 15. And it says, but he that is spiritual judges all things. He himself is judged of no man. So we judge things with the spirit, man. We judge things on a spiritual thing, on a spiritual level. We don't judge things. You know, we judge a man by how he receives his word through the spirit, because the spirit is going to receive his word. So, but we're allowed to judge that, man, because we've been given discernment by the Holy Spirit, by the scriptures, to see if a man is sincere or not, man. And the Lord will know if you're sincere or not too. And if you're not sincere, guess what? The Lord just cast you out. But he that is spiritual judges all things, yet he himself is judging no man. And with that, I want to get 2 Corinthians 4:16. This is 2 Corinthians 4:16, and it says, for which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. So there it goes again, speaking against the inward man. This outward man, this outward flesh is going to perish, man. I mean, hey, we're going to get, most likely when we be those elect men, we're going to receive new, powerful spiritual bodies, man. These shells, these chains of darkness that we're in, it really is nothing. This is going to perish. This is going to turn into dust. Yet the inward man, our spirit, is renewed day by day. So the spirit is what Yahawahshi looks at, man. Going back to 1 Samuel 16:7. He says he looks not on the outward appearance, but the inward appearance. Roughly paraphrasing. Was that I want to get Sirach 11:2. This is Sirach 11:2, and it says, commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance. So his outward appearance, you have to judge through the spirit, not how the man looks, man. Because a perfect example is the men of GMS, man. We out there, and we look like bums, so-called bums, people say, and we are of different of ages and backgrounds, and we have different garments on, and and we look like a rough bunch, so to speak, man. But we have the true doctrine of the Lord. People look at us and they see us as a spectacle. They see us as fools. They see us as just a bunch of niggers and spicks, man. But the scripture says what? Commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance. And so we don't look through the outward appearance, man. We look through the spiritual things. And if you a man that looks like these so-called other nations, but you receive this word, and you are persuaded in your mind that this word is the truth, and you persuaded your mind that the white man is the devil, and the children of Israel are the majority of children are so-called black Jews, Native Americans, and your lineage and your lineage might go back to the sons of Israel, man, to the children of Israel. If you receive this word in humility and it resonates within you, then it's most likely that you can be an Israelite, man, a Hebrew Israelite. And with that, I'm going to get Daniel 12:10, because the thing about it, only a righteous man will accept this truth. Only a man of the Lord, because the Lord's only dealing with the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites. He's the one that his spirit it will be allowed to accept this truth. But the wicked, which are the Edomites, they can't accept this truth, man. They won't accept this truth. They'll buck up against it. And these other nations, they'll buck up against it, because this understanding is only given to the children of Israel. This I'm going to get Daniel 12:10. It says, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly. The Edomites, they're going to continue to be wicked, to be evil, regardless of whatever, man, whatever you say to them, because that's their whole purpose of being. That's what they were designed to do. They were vessels made unto dishonor, man. They were the wicked made for the day of evil. And none of the wicked shall understand. So the wicked can't understand this word, man. The wicked cannot receive this word. The word's not going to resonate with a wicked spirit. But the wise shall understand. So this understanding is only be given to a select men, man, and only to a Hebrew Israelite man. And among those Hebrew Israelite men, only a small remnant of men will receive this understanding. And with that, I want to get I think it's 1 John 4:1. This is This is 1 John 4:1, and it says, Said, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they of Yahweh, because many false prophets are gone into the world. So we're supposed to try the spirits and believe not every spirit. So you can have a so-called a Negro man, and he'll buck up against his word, and his spirit will be against his word. He could be a Edomite. We could just be plain wicked. Or you can have a so-called a white person, and he might be able to, or so-called Middle Eastern, they might look at the way outward appearance, but hey, but what does the scripture say? That we are going to be scattered among people, man. And what does the scripture say also? That he's going to gather he's going to gather the elect from the four corners of the earth. Majority of the elect going to be right here in America, though, man. But the scripture says he's going to gather the elect from all four corners of the earth, man. So for throughout the whole earth. So most definitely there is going to be elect men that's going to look like these other nations, man. And that's where that confusion of faith comes in. And with that, I want to get it's like Romans 8 and 14. This is it's like Romans 8 and 14, and it says, for as many are led by the Spirit of Yahweh, they are the sons of Yahweh. So the sons of the Most High are going to be led by the Spirit of the Most High. So if you're wicked, if you an Edomite spirit, you can have the outward appearance of another nation. You're not going to be led by the Spirit of YAHAWAHSHI Yahushai. If you're a so-called confusion of face, man, and you look like a so-called white person, but your spirit is led to this truth, then you are the son of the Most High. You are a Hebrew Israelite, man. Basically, like with the point I'm trying to get, that it's by the Spirit is to receive this truth. And what does the scripture say? Look not on the outward appearance, man. What does it say in Sirach? Commend not a man's beauty for the outward appearance. So through the Spirit is how we understand all these things. Of course, we push the doctrine that the majority of the Israelites are going to be the so-called blacks, Latinos, or Native Americans. And there's going to be confusion of face also, man. And with that, I want to get Acts 6 and 10. This is Acts 6 and 10. And it says, and they were not able to resist the wisdom and the spirit by which he spake. This is talking about Stephen, man. He went out preaching, and there was men that couldn't able to resist the wisdom and spirit which he spake. Why? Because he spoke through the Spirit, and the Spirit it's how we worship the Most High. What does the scripture say? The Most High needs to be worshipped in spirit and in truth. And the outward appearance and you're putting on the front, so to speak. Hey, the Lord ain't having that, man. Hey, you can go through the motions all you want, but if you're not sincere about this thing, hey, the Lord's gonna cast you out. And that's why he rebuked the Pharisees for doing alms in front of the people. When they fasted, they had their countenance looking like, sorrowful, like everybody can know they can fast it, man, and so on and so forth, man. They were about the outward appearance, but inwardly they were wicked. They were hypocrites, so to speak. And so the Lord ain't dealing with a hypocrite man. The Lord ain't dealing with a man that's not sincere about this thing. Most likely the Spirit's gonna find you out, man. And with that, I want to get Slovakia. Then I want to get Hosea 5 and 3, and I'll just close it up on that. It's just a real quick lesson. It says Hosea 5 and 3. It says, I know Ephraim and Israel is not hid from me. For now Ephraim thou committest whoredom. The point about Israel is not hid from the Most High. So the Lord's going to seek out that which is His. And the Lord's going to seek out His elect men, whether they be scattered upon all the four corners of the earth. And that's just a quick lesson, man. A few scriptures that I put together, speaking upon this confusion of faith. Just one of the many parts of this truth. Like the scriptures say, we gotta eat the whole roll. We gotta bring out the weightier matters. So that how it was edifying. That one say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah YAHAWAHSHI, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah YAHAWAHSHI, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah YAHAWAHSHI. Shalom.